Hi, I have found this sample basically steering committee document here. It's basically I taken it from the internet, but it looks more relevant for you to basically understand. If you see this is a PowerPoint presentation which basically talks about the project. The first slide will talk about the project name, steering committee meeting, and the project managers, program manager name, sponsor name, and then here there are some general guidelines are given. I'll basically send this document. It is available widely on the Google. Okay, so but this is for reference purpose. You can use it, and you can basically use this as an executive summary. What is a description? High level business objective. What is a cost? The risk here. 1, 2, 3, 4 risks are mentioned, and the schedule. What is the current phase? Project status and project end accomplishment. All this thing is basically keep updating after every steering committee, and then basically we circulate this document to the steering committee members before the meeting takes place. So you can basically give them some time 2 to 3 days in advance, so that whenever you send them updated the steering committee pack, this can be called as a steering committee pack, and so that they can review, and if they have any queries they can basically ask those queries during the this one the what we call during the meeting. So this is if you move here you can just actually see the cost here, total project, actual cost, and all this thing. Okay, and same here the list you can basically give them, just drag them down so you will know what it is, the status, whether it is a green or what yellow or maybe amber or the red, then you have the requirement and intent. Okay, so this is how you can give the executive summary on the first page. So in one glance they can see what is there in the requirement. Then you can have is a business need. You can write down the details about what is a business need. If you remember, we have created a business need documentation, and you can extract from there and add it here. Then you can give the project background. In short, what was the project background? So what we do is that once we create the business need document and the vision document, that document becomes a supporting document for all other documentation. So you can extract the information from the project background and all, and that can be used here. You don't need to recreate the wheel every time. Then this is a proposed solution. What solution is that you are looking at, and these details about the solution. You can write the business benefit 1, 2, 3. If you remember, we have listed some of the benefits earlier while defining the business case, and those benefits we defined as a tangible, intangible. Here also you can create the both tangible, intangible benefits. Then here it is a cost of the project, the labor, hardware, software, outside services. This you can basically add. This is nothing but the different version of your the executive summary here. But this part you will be basically updating every time how much you have consumed, what is the status, and based on what is the consumption so far. So that is how the stakeholders will know what is the status of the project. Okay. Then you have a project ROI, that is return on investment. I'm not sure whether they want to know at this stage, because once you have given the business case, this you don't need to add every time, because otherwise your pack will be very bulky and they may not want to see that. Maybe first time you can add all these details, but at a later stage you don't want to have these details again and again. Then this is a project organization. So this is not the organization. So within that you can say IT management, sponsor, program manager, project manager, right? And the business team here, the database, computer information system, then technical, and again the CSS team. Okay, and then what is a warehouse, and this all you can define. This is a sample we have given, so from here you can basically get the idea how you can define the project and model this. And the steering committee members you can list it if that is here. Then you can look at the pack here. It is basically schedule, project schedule and approach. Okay, so I wanted to basically share with you this one, because this is quite relevant and very close to the real life scenario. I wouldn't say exactly, but close to. If you understand this one, it will be easier for you to understand in the real life. It is little bit distorted because of the what we call alignment. Okay, if you see the concept, that what are the tasks we have, the concept, requirement, design, development, testing, documentation and training, post development, deployment, task 9, 10, 11, if there are additional tasks are there. What is the status of this task, start date, what is the start date, end date, duration, and then you can, this is a basically a small what we call a graphical representation about how, what is the status of the each of the task in the quarter 1, 2, 3, 4, how it is basically. Okay, and this is assigned. If you see, these are not done, but this is where the particular task will take place. Okay, like that. And this is the communication management plan. So you can basically, how you want to communicate, like for example, senior VP, you want to give a monthly update, executive staff meeting monthly update, extended staff meeting every 6 weeks, senior management as needed because they may not be involved. Okay, all hands quarterly, quarterly, learning all formal training for rollout, monitoring as needed. So this is how you communicate, and what kind of a communication here already mentioned. So the first part is a progress update about the progress, how you will be handling the progress. In this case, the definition is different. In some cases, they may mention working committee every 2 weeks, the steering committee every month, like that. Here it is, they mention the designations. So you may find a different way of, you know, capturing the details. And here it is, information sharing is open house session, then it is quarterly, hot sheets again, maybe bi-monthly, email as needed, website update as needed, posters as needed. So this is the way, when you share with them, then they will can basically have a complete idea about the how things will work. Okay, and they can expect the communication at certain time, and we are bridging the gap between the information sharing and what they understand. Okay, so we have to basically create the transparency, so every stakeholders within the project will have same understanding level. Then this is a key risk we want to basically, every time you may find the new risk are identified, and those you can basically capture them, and what are the mitigation, the tactics you may have, or maybe what are the possible solutions that you want to address, because identifying the risk is not enough, you want to basically also present the solutions for that, and how the solution will, when you present, how the team will review it and how they will respond to that. Okay, because when the risk is identified, you will you are required to share the other details as well. Okay, then we have is the others, like for example, cost to utilize consultant for the project management, 4 consultants, 6 months, this much benefits, this is what they benefit. Instead of this, you can also mention that until now how much you have consumed, and going forward what is required. Okay, then steering committee members, their name, this is not sufficient actually, you need to write the name, their role in the organization, their role in the project, and then their special requirements, their communication methods, and the tools, anything you are using it, and the frequency how you want to communicate, and what is their role. So this is important for you to capture, just name is not enough here. Okay, now expectations of the steering committee, then you will have to write down all the steering committee expectations, so that you will know every time when there is a steering committee, what are you going to present to us. Okay, then you have a key decisions to be made, how, what are the key decisions are there during that particular meeting. Okay, then every time when you have a different meeting, then every time you will be discussing those key decisions to be made during that particular committee meeting. So you can basically present those key the decisions. Okay, and then you can say that who is the owner of that, what is the due date you are expecting, what will the impact of the decisions, right? So this is basically discussing any the changes or any approvals or those things. Okay, and then next step is basically what you intend to do during the until the next steering committee. So you mention all of that, if you have any revised budgets are there, any new feature, what kind of a new major activities will take place. They don't want to listen the details about the project, but they definitely want high level updates that what you intend to do. So then they are prepared. Okay, the project is on, you know, um, on basically as per the schedule and as per the budget. In case if they find anything is missing in the next step, they may identify them. They said, oh, this particular part is not captured when you all are basically planning to do this, because as per the project plan this is supposed to be scheduled during this time. So like that you may find different this one. Can you hear me now? Hello? Are you able to hear me? Is it clear? So, so this is in short about the steering committee. Okay.